Today is World Mental Health Day. The World Health Organization estimates the economic impact of depression and anxiety costs the global economy $1 trillion a year. Tania joins us now with more. And Tania, you spoke to a brilliant mind, a major political player here in the UK, and someone who has been extremely influential in trying to destigmatize mental health here in the United Kingdom.
That's right, Juliana. Good morning. Alastair Campbell, who served in the Blair government. He was his Director of Communications from 1997 to 2003. He's also a mental health campaigner. And I asked Alastair why he thinks World Mental Health Day is so important.
I think we've made massive progress in some parts of the world in relation to attitudes and stigma. But I think there's a danger that we're going backwards. I think that in some places, I would include the United Kingdom in this, where the sense of the success in breaking down attitudes and breaking down the stigma and taboo surrounding mental health, but the services haven't adapted alongside it. So you now have a sense of people feeling that they may have kind of psychological issues that they want to get addressed, and then they find that they can't. So they feel much more open about trying to get help, but then often find that the help isn't there. Added to which, I wouldn't underestimate that in many parts of the world, it is still considered a massive taboo to say you're mentally ill. And so I think it's a long fight, this one. I don't think it's going to be quick. And I think the focus for now, I think, is about continuing to try to build a sense of parity between physical and mental health.
I also asked Alastair why he thinks UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's approval ratings are down in recent polls.
I think politics is really, really hard everywhere at the moment. Government, particularly these days, is not just about delivering the things that people want. It's also about emotional connection. It's about telling a story about what you're trying to do for the country. And the problem is that in this populist world that we're in, where a Trump can be as successful politically as he has been, to lose and then come back, and with all the kind of, I would argue, very negative sides to the way that he does politics, and likewise here with populism in Germany and France, this isn't a sort of British phenomenon, it's a global phenomenon within our democracies, that democratic leadership is, I think, becoming harder and harder. I think, I mentioned resilience in relation to mental health. I think Keir's got resilience. And these days, you really need it. You really need it. So, and don't forget as well, we've got probably another 3 years before there's another general election. So I still think, I wouldn't rule him out.
What advice would you give him as former Director of Communications?
I think if I were him, I'd say be bolder, be more confident, and be more visible. And be out there all the time. Now, and that has always been part of politics. I think it's become a bigger part of politics, and it's not necessarily a bad thing that you're more visible, you're more out there with people the whole time.